Today on First Cup, we find out if I fall asleep in the middle of the show. Stick around and find out. We'll roll in 20 seconds. I'm pouring my coffee. I gotta do that. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Friday. It's August 27th, 2021. My name is Jeremy. And this is my first cup of coffee. I'm probably going to burn my face. Yep, that's face burning temperature. I'm moving slow this morning. I'm tired. I'm sore. I think I got heat exhaustion yesterday because my body was still so hot at like 1 in the morning. It was crazy. Good morning, John and Jenny and Daniel, everybody joining us. Oh, all right. So yesterday it was like 91 degrees here, but I wasn't here. I was south of here where it was up to 98 degrees yesterday. Went down, told you guys yesterday morning, went down, did some kickboxing training with my friends Terry and Paul. Terry's school doesn't have air conditioning. 2 hours. You know when you get out of the shower before you dry off and you're covered with like the maximum amount of water you can be covered with? That's how my body was with sweat. My head, if I looked in the mirror, because I did at one point, went to the bathroom, it was just sweat. It was just covered as if I'd come out of the shower. Drank plenty of water beforehand, after, during, but sweat it all out. It was rough. It was a rough day. It took me a while to come back to somewhat normal. In fact, I drove from there to work with Craig, and I was doing everything I could pretty much to get like carbs in me to try to wake back up. And it worked. It eventually did. But that was most of the day between the two things, and then driving back. It was like 6 hours of driving yesterday. And I had a great day. I had a great time training. I had a great time working with Craig. Got to see some people at his school that I think very highly of. And did a little bit of other work in there. And yeah, so it was a good day, but it was a brutal day. And I got home. I'd showered after training. And here, let's fix the camera. The camera's not exactly a great spot. And got home, had a drink, tried to unwind, and just laid there for hours. Got up, tried laying in here, but all the TV and everything over there looks like mission control. And the air conditioner wasn't on during the day, but I turned it on as soon as I got home and left it on, and it was on all night. It was just so hot. The house baked. My body was baked, not in the other way that word means. And I just couldn't cool off. I took a shower, and that helped, and it was enough to push me over the edge and go back to bed. But it was rough. I did not sleep well. Today's going to be an interesting day. John says, I'm ready for the heat to break. My AC has been down for about 4 weeks. Yikes, been using a couple portable AC units, but they don't keep up well in this kind of heat. No. I've only got a few windows that can take a regular air conditioner. I've got a lot of ones that they do the crank out thing. And I've not used an air conditioner nearly as much as I have this year. I mean, most summers I'll use, oh, it's hot, I guess I'll put the air conditioner in. And I put it in and I use it once or maybe twice. I've used it this month more than probably the last 5 years combined. It's nuts. Now, some of it, I'll admit, some of it's me. Some of it I'll take some responsibility for. I'm less tolerant of the heat than I used to be. And it's gotten, and we've had some hot weather and everything. I mentioned I had a drink. So for those of you who don't follow my life closely, which I'm assuming is everyone, you may not know that I'm working on what I'm calling my bottom shelf whiskey collection. What are all the best whiskeys I can get that are really cheap? And the goal is like under $10. I've spent no more than 15 on any of them. And I think I'm going to keep that as a hard, well, I don't know if I'm going to keep it as a hard limit because I'm running out of bottles to try that they have to be in glass. Like I'm not buying something in plastic. If it's in plastic, I don't want to drink. Alcohol pulls stuff out of plastic anyway. Like it's not a healthy thing. But I found this, and this looked interesting. The color was interesting. So I bought this, and I took a sip, and I was like, this is weird. This is weird whiskey. Why is this so weird? And so I flip it over on the back. I don't know if you can see those numbers. 20% bourbon, 80% grain neutral spirits. So basically, they watered down the bourbon with moonshine. That's exactly what they did. But it's still adjusted to 80 proof. So it's not like it's super potent, but it's got a really interesting flavor. I'm not sure if I like it. Most of the bottles that I have here, I found were there yesterday at the store. And it was interesting to look at them again from the perspective of, I know where these kind of slot in, how I feel about them. Martial arts wise, yesterday was a good day. This has been a good week. 3 classes, 4 hours of training. Can't tell you the last time I had 4 hours of class training in a week. It's been a very long time because, it's been a long time since I was going to regular classes. It's been good. It's been good for me. I'm sore in places I'm not normally sore. I'm tired, in part from training in that way, but I'm happy. I've missed kicking. I've missed punching. I've missed it so much. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. And my hope, because I know there are so many people who lost their schools in the last 18 months, I am hopeful that others will do this, that they'll find another way to train. They'll do something. Oh, it's too far away. I'm driving an hour each way for this karate class. I'm doing 4 hours of traveling for 2 hours of training. It's 4.5 hours for 2 hours of training for kickboxing. You do what you got to do. Okay, it doesn't mean it's easy. Daniel says, I've written off even the slight thought of sleep until Tuesday. There's a huge music festival going on 2 miles, or 3.2K if you're elsewhere, from my house. Music from 11 a.m. until 6 a.m. every day until Tuesday. That sounds miserable. I am so sorry. We have similar stuff here, like when the neighbors set off fireworks or target practice with their rifles. The only way you can tell if you like the whiskey is to drink more. Is it Scotch whiskey that has the E? I think it's the other way. Yes, you are right, Jared. 200,000 people in attendance at this concert. Wow, that's nuts. That's a lot of people. So our biggest city, plus all the surrounding area, is in 200,000 people. So I can't even imagine how you would do that. That's crazy, man. That's a lot of people. What is our biggest venue? I think our biggest venue is outdoor and might be able to do 20,000 people. It's cooled off enough. That's so good. So today I'll be up at the co-working space. I got some client stuff I got to do. I got to find somebody else to do the shirt for free training day. The person that said they were going to do it just kind of walked away. The logos for the training programs, those are almost there. We're so close on them. There's one more adjustment I want to make, and I'm probably going to have to spend a little more money to do it. But the Flex program, it's up, and a bunch of people downloaded it yesterday from whistlekick.com. I don't know how many people downloaded it from whistlekickprograms.com, because it's free, so I don't get email. I only get emails on transactions. But if you're not checking it out, I don't know why. If you're watching this, you're probably a martial artist. If you listen to the show, you're probably a martial artist. You probably want to be more flexible. And it only costs you a little bit of time. So check it out. The response to the episode yesterday was really good. So I'm thankful for that. This event brings in a lot of money to the area. It's a massive few square mile site with several stages. Wow, that sounds like, I don't know, kind of sounds Coachella-ish. I think that's the big one in the U.S. now. I don't think Lollapalooza happens anymore. But it sounds like Coachella. Years ago, this was before I moved to Vermont. Those of you familiar with the band Fish is from here. And they did some big event up north outside of I won't even call it suburban areas, really out in the woods. And it went nuts. Tens of thousands of people came, and there was not the infrastructure for tens of thousands of people. Cars were parked everywhere. It looked like, if you've seen old footage of the original Woodstock in upstate New York and what that looked like, it looked like that. Not quite as many people, but it looked like that. And there's barely anyone I've even heard of playing. I'm old. I can relate to that. When I see concert lineups, there's a pretty decent venue, like, what would that be, 3 hours away, that I get emails about. They're like, oh, this artist is coming, this artist is coming, this artist is coming. And I have no interest in seeing most of them. Some of them I haven't even heard of. Some of them, they present like 2 or 3 of these people that I've never heard of in a way that suggests it's a really big deal. And I feel uncomfortable that I don't know who they are. What's going on this weekend? Hanging out with some friends on Sunday and tomorrow. Gonna get out and try. I mean, I wanted to do this last weekend, but I ran out of time. I'm gonna try and get some fall crops planted in the garden in the new beds. I've got to sift through some dirt and pull out rocks. The rocks I'm pulling out, you guys should see. Like, I pulled out one rock. It was like, I was like, is this a dinosaur egg? It was huge. And just, I was told this is old farm soil. They must not have been planting very deep. They must not have been tilling much, because holy cow, this is crazy. So I got to do that. That's the big plan for tomorrow morning. Other than that, hang out, chip away, do some work. Liz is asking, is SPAC the venue? No, it's, well, is that what, the one in New Hampshire? That's the one I'm thinking of. Liz just had a birthday. Not too long ago, right? Wasn't it this week? The Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion. It's the what they call it. But I don't know if that's considered SPAC. I don't know. I don't go anywhere. I don't go anywhere to concerts. When I was in college, I went to concerts all the time. And back when we had decent acts coming in Burlington, I went to see those. But lately, it's all it's so different based on who's booking the gigs. But so that's today. That was yesterday. That's this weekend. Now Frank's got some stuff for us. I'm gonna do that. But there was also something I was going to show you guys. Yeah, I'm going to show you this, and then we'll go through and we'll dig into some quotes. It's Boxing Day, not like Canadian Boxing Day, like day after Christmas, but International Boxing Day, celebrating boxing. Oh, SPAC is in New York now. And yes, her birthday was the 21st. I was right. Check these out. I've had these for 30-something years. This is my original, and honestly, my only pair ever of nunchucks. I cut them because I was a child, and I used a wood burner to put my initials on there. You can see how long my forearms were at the time, because I cut them to fit my forearm. I think I was 8, something like that. But I thought I would show you guys these. The ropes held up. You know, I'm surprised it hasn't really deteriorated. But then again, I don't know how much I used these as a kid. You know, we between the dog and the ceiling and other stuff, I'm pretty sure I can't be sure, but I'm going to guess the rule was if you're going to use those, go outside. That was the rule with a lot of things. So I'm guessing they didn't get much use. All right. I just thought I'd show you. Let's talk about the quotes. Oh, jokes. We gotta do jokes first. That's how unawake I am, you know. Okay. The jokes for Fun Day Friday. Today is Banana Day. You need to be extra nice to bananas. You know why? You don't want to hurt their feelings. Why was the banana so upset? Someone mistook him for a plantain. I love plantains. Fried plantain. Seriously, so good. Why did the banana go out with the prune? Because he couldn't find a date. Why did the banana have to go to the hair salon? Because she had split ends. Why do bananas never get lonely? Oh, weird. Frank, this is a lot of jokes. Because they hang out in bunches. Did you know that banana peel is supposed to be put under the Controlled Substance Act? It can give you bad trips. All right, two more. Where do bananas go shopping for clothes? Banana Republic. Why did the kid keep falling off his bike? It had a banana seat. There we go. Boxing is the only sport you can get your brain shook, your money took, and your name in the Undertaker book. Joe Frazier. It's depressing to think of it that way, but I guess it's true. It's rough. Here's a good one. Bruce Lee was an artist, and like him, I try to go beyond the fundamentals of my sport. I want the public to see a knockout in the making. Sugar Ray Leonard. I wouldn't call myself a boxing fan. I appreciate boxing. And when I watch boxing, I'm not going to be able to see a knockout coming. I'm not going to see the setup and the posturing, the chest movements that lead to that really good shot. I can see a bit of that if I'm watching point sparring. That is the combative discipline that I understand the most. But I can see how someone could. And it must be really exciting when you watch someone make a couple really good movements. Now, yesterday, the kickboxing that we train, of course, is superfoot kickboxing. And the hands are more or less rooted in traditional boxing. You know, jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Primarily the jab. But there's shoulder movement and head movement, as there would be in boxing, in a way that doesn't typically show up in traditional martial arts. And so I've come to learn a little bit about boxing through that. And what I find most fascinating about boxing is that on paper, it is pretty simple and straightforward, but in practice, it is anything but. There's so much nuance to it. Really, I find it interesting. Why is my phone blowing up right now? Oh, these people are sending me messages. I was called Rembrandt Hope in my boxing days because I spent so much time on the canvas. Bob Hope. Bob Hope was a boxer? I had no idea. I know Bob Hope is a comedian. I know Bob Hope is a brilliant comedian, one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. His timing is just spot on. And maybe that's why. Maybe he got that from boxing. Who knows? The 4-part 8-hour series titled simply Muhammad Ali airs on consecutive nights on PBS beginning September 19th. Maybe I should check that out. You know, the person that I've talked to who knew Ali the best is someone who received some criticism, and it's a shame that people can't compartmentalize things. George Dillman. Hanshi Dillman was on Martial Arts Radio. It was a great episode, wonderful stories. And I've heard some stories about Ali from him, and I've heard stories about him and Ali from others, from some of his students. And what I would love to do, obviously never going to happen, I would have loved to have sat down with Ali and asked him about Bruce Lee and karate and how he saw it and what he learned, if anything. I did a little bit of research. Way back, we tested a series called How to Fight. The first episode was, Who'd Win? How to Fight is what we're doing now. Who'd win? And the premise was, let's take two famous people who never met, at least in a combative way, and unpack who would win. The first one was Muhammad Ali and Bruce Lee. And what I found interesting was the number of Bruce Lee devotees on YouTube who can't imagine the idea of Muhammad Ali winning, which, outweighed him, longer arms. And I was even able to dig up a quote, somebody saying Bruce Lee had said, because there was this notion that the two of them were going to have to spar because they were such a big deal at the time. And Bruce Lee saying, this person saying, I forget who it was. It was somebody who would know. I think it was a director on one of the movies saying, yeah, Ali would kill me. So, yeah. Coffee is good. Ali fascinates. Boxing fascinates me. I like Tyson. I like what Tyson's become. He's an interesting guy. Oh, one other thing going on tomorrow? Doing some photos, like professional photos. I got to shave. We got to trim all this stuff. I'm going to do that after the show today. Get ready. Clean myself up. We're at a point now where I'm realizing I really don't have any good photos of me, and people ask for them. When I guest on something, they want a good photo. When people come on to Zoom for the show, it's this selfie I took 3 years ago with my headphones on. Like, it's not, we need photos that represent the professionalism of what we're doing and even what we're trying to do, which is better and more. So, yeah. All right. I'm out of stuff to say. I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend. I hope you'll come back on Monday because we do it every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Here, there's a banner. And if you want to support us, Patreon, or buy something, use the code FirstCup15. And yeah, thanks for watching. I may get the Facebook page done today. It's on the list. There's also a lot on the list. We'll see. Take care, everybody. I'll see you Monday. Peace.